Hi there, it's Lori, and I'm going to show you how I'm doing this linked double crochet. It's a little different than the way I've seen it shown, but I'm showing you on this animal blanket, right? Because that's what I'm doing. But I wanted to show it. So I'm going to start with the stack single. I'm not going to chain one. I'm going to go in there, pull up a loop, and yarn over and pull through both of those. Then I'm going to go through this leg and I'm going to yarn over and pull through that and then pull through there. Now that is the top of my first stitch. So the linked double crochet. So I'm going to show you two ways I've seen it done. So this is the way I'm doing it. I go through that front leg just under one loop, yarn over, then I go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull that loop up, and now I have my 3 loops on the hook. And so I can yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So the other way, so like I said, I'm going here, but the other way people do it is to go through this loop. So if I go through this loop, yarn over, pull through that, I'm still in that stitch, so that's what's going to connect it. Then I go in the next stitch, and I yarn over and pull through. There's my 3 loops. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So the difference here is kind of where that line is. To me, when I go through that top loop, the line is more visible. Let me back that out. When I do it this way, this almost looks like a little waistcoat stitch. In a way, it kind of is a waistcoat stitch. So I'm going to show the way I do it again. Now, if I want that look of that line going across, I need to do it consistently, but I've been doing it this way through that front leg, yarn over, pull through, into the next stitch under both loops, yarn over, pull through, and pull through 2, pull through 2. Okay, kind of went out of focus there for a second. So now we don't see that line laying on top of there. Okay, I'm going to do that again through this leg, yarn over, pull through, into this, yarn over, pull through. There's my 2 loops. Now, if you want that more defined line kind of laying on top here, instead of it kind of looking like a waistcoat stitch, where the legs are split, that's what a waistcoat stitch is. It's a single crochet that you go through the middle of the stitch instead. But if you want that nice line on there to give it additional texture, you can do that. I wanted them to still look pretty much like double crochets and look the same on the front and the back. So that's why I elected to go through the leg here instead of the loop here. Sorry, this loop. Nope, I wasn't in the right one. This one right here. So I'm going to show you again how that looks different. So when I yarn over and pull through and then into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through. Then when I yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, this line, let me do another one so that you can see. So I'm going to go through this top loop, yarn over, pull through, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay. So now you'll be able to see the difference, I think. Although this variegated yarn's not making it that easy to see the difference. So on my earlier stitches, this line, see, you're not really seeing that line. The cool thing about that is you can create texture by doing it that way. So you get this extra ridge here, and it almost looks like you've done 2 double. two single crochets, US terms, on top of each other. It looks like you've made 2 rows of single crochets. And you get that nice line. Again, if you're looking for that texture, that's the better way to do it. I wasn't. I was looking for it to kind of be hidden, and that is why the way I'm doing it is through that bottom loop or that front leg on this side. Yarn over, pull through, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn, pull through 2. And then again, I'm down here, not here. But the tutorials I've seen go through that one, and it makes a line. And for my purposes, I didn't care for that. So yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2. And now you can see that I've lost that kind of line that was going across there. It's there, but it's inside, in between the 2 stitches. So again, I really like the look of that line for something different. I did not want to add any more texture or noticeability or whatever you want to call it to the variegated yarn because it was actually distracting. If I had long runs of color, or if it was pooling in some kind of pattern, which it is not. I mean, I guess kind of, right? Kind of, but then with my extra, look at, like, because I've got all this extra stuff in between, there's an inconsistent, I just realized it kind of has a camo look to it. That is really funny. Camouflage. That is really funny. I did not notice that before. But if you want that extra texture, do it the way that I've seen it done by other people. I did it this way because that's how I do a stacked double crochet. Another thing I've done for myself on this is that marks 10 stitches. So my 10th stitch will actually, it was 10 going this way, so my 10th stitch will actually be here because that was the 10th stitch going this direction, and I did not put a stitch marker in except to mark the stitch. So that is, we'll do it one last time under that front leg. So this leg right here, yarn over, pull through, into the next stitch. Your brain really has to not yarn over. I have yarn over and added extra loops, and I'm like, oh, I have 4 loops. I've done it wrong. So I've had to start over, but I've done it so much now that I'm sticking with it. All right, and then pull through 2, pull through 2. And again, what happens is that line, instead of kind of laying on the front here, goes in between and kind of gets embedded in the blanket. But you can see that these holes are not going to be so big that a baby could get a finger or a toe in there. And that is kind of the point. This is a 5.5 millimeter hook, 4-weight yarn. When I finalize this blanket, I will tell you what the yarn colorway is. I think I've already answered it once, but I don't remember what it is. It is a Red Heart Comfort yarn, but I don't remember the colorway. Anyway, so that's the difference between the ways you can do the connected stitches. You can do trebles. Now, I think with a treble, I'm just going to do it for fun. Treble US terms. I think you almost have to do it where you're going, oh, I'm not going to, here, let me just do a treble crochet in this next stitch, which is yarn over twice and pull through, pull through, pull through. Okay, pretend that's the beginning. So yeah, with the treble, I'm going to have, nope, don't yarn over, Lori. All right, so I'm going to go through here, pull up a loop, go through here, pull up a loop. Now I have those 3 loops into the next stitch, yarn over, pull it up. And I want you to see, number 1, how nice and close those trebles are to each other. But you can see that line again. Again, it looks like you've done 3 rows of single crochet, which is kind of cool. If that's what you're looking for. But anyway, I wanted to show that. You can do any amount of stitches you want, but it has to be consistent across. Like I could not go from this double to that treble and connect it. But that's what I'm doing on this animal blanket. So that you saw on my Whip Wednesday, but I wanted y'all to see how I was doing that and why I was doing it the way I'm doing it instead of the way I actually saw in tutorials. Again, I go through this leg and pull up the loop. The ones I've seen, they go through that right there, that loop right there, pull up a loop, and then into the next stitch. Again, if you're looking for that texture or looking to have it look like stacked singles, or have that extra line there, or almost makes it look like knit, do that. This I just had different purposes. I felt like it actually made it too busy to have that line there. I did about 10 or 12 stitches that way, the other way, and I was like, I don't care for this. Let me try this, and it worked. And so that's what I went with. All right. Thanks for coming. Oh, I didn't have any kind of story. How do I not have any kind of story? Oh, I'm sure I have a story. I guess my story is that I don't have any stories popping into my head. Oh, the people that are painting our house, the woodwork manager, I believe is his woodworking manager, is the funniest job title because I'm immature. Anyway, the one that's my former student, so it's really weird having professional emails back and forth with a kid who was my student. Again, I'm pretty sure he was my student all 4 years, but it might have only been 3. I think I might not have had him in my class senior year. He might have been in a different teacher's class that year. Anyway, that's what I'm doing, and that's why I'm doing it. But do the one that looks right for your project. Like I said, if this was like a solid background, I actually think I would have liked that texture of the line that it creates by doing it the way that through this loop. But it's so busy, I didn't want to make it busier. All right, I keep chatting. Anyway, and that's how I operate, right? My 21 goodbyes. But this time, it was 12 minutes and 34 seconds of recording. I should have stopped there. My favorite 1, 2, 3, 4. 12:34, my favorite time of day, every day. Anyway, because I'm a math geek, yes, in case you were wondering why. Anyway, I will talk to you all later, and thanks for coming in, and can I get an amen?